Yes guys, I'm checking into therapy. Take a look at this. It's gorgeous. That is the sunrise behind me. And this is beautiful white sand. I'm putting that between my toes as a therapeutic stroll to get over, or try to get over, what I saw from Chelsea Football Club. Hopefully, some things I say within this video may be echoed by yourself. If it is, be sure to hit the like button. And that game against Brentford. Brentford win 2-0. At Stamford Bridge, and Chelsea's woes just get deeper and deeper and deeper. And I think at this point, it's become decision after decision after decision from these new owners has left us with absolutely no choice but to react, but to talk about how much of a joke everything truly has become. It was funny a few weeks ago for rival fans when Graham Potter, who was supposedly going to be the project manager, the dynasty building manager at Chelsea, when we all thought that Graham Potter was the problem, rival fans thought it was hilarious because, well, Chelsea keep on losing, us fans, we keep having little breakdowns about how bad we're doing and Graham Potter's not the right man, he becomes a meme, he becomes a joke, and then Frank Lampard, someone who all Chelsea fans can relate to, all Chelsea fans, proper Chelsea fans at least, regardless of what you think of the man as a manager or as a football coach, if you're a Chelsea person, Frank Lampard is someone close to your heart. He comes in and we lose 5 in a row, play worse football than we ever did at any point in Graham Potter's tenure as Chelsea manager, knocked out the Champions League when Real Madrid, all they had to do was show up, get absolutely battered and humiliated at home to Brighton at Stamford Bridge, a really, really good Brighton side. Then we play against the Brentford team, winless in 6 matches in the Premier League. Thomas Frank, good manager, good squad, had a few issues off the field. Ivan Toney's still playing, but he's bloody gambling, so he's gonna have a ban as I fall over a stone. But of course, Charity FC, Chelsea Football Club, you haven't won in 6, Thomas? We've got something for you. Here's 3 points. Chelsea beaten 2-0 at home to a Brentford team who, once again, turn up. Nothing special. I wish I could sit here and say that Chelsea got outplayed, demolished. We didn't. We just the same old thing over and over again. And teams now, it's a formality. If you turn up against Chelsea, be it home or away, but specifically at Stamford Bridge, we're worse. You turn up, you beat Chelsea. It's done. And Frank Lampard, when I look at what's going on here, right, I'm conspiracy theorizing for the most crazy and stupid things, which is why I've gone for this walk, right? Imagine if Frank Lampard's being paid to come in and be like, look, make it worse so that we don't look like the idiots who hired Graham Potter. This actually crossed my mind. As a Chelsea fan, I'm going this insane to think that our new owners might just hire Frank Lampard to purposely make it worse. It's impossible, by the way. I don't think it's feasibly possible for this messaging to come to Lampard and then be funneled and channeled into these players to ensure that Chelsea keep losing, to make Graham Potter actually look far less bad as he was. It's pure lunacy, and if you're still with me here, I think you can concur that this is what we've come to now. This is what Chelsea Football Club have become. We have become a team and a squad where us fans, we expect to be beaten. And this is the biggest issue. We can talk about reshuffling, rebuilding the squad, getting rid of this player, signing this player. But I think the fundamental core issues here are something that is just cemented now in Chelsea Football Club, where we've been talking for a decade or more about how when things don't go so well, the players lose their heads. And even though now we're talking about a different squad to the, let's just call it the Hazard, Fabregas, Costa era at Chelsea, where heads would drop there as well. Even Eden Hazard, as mercurial and fabulous as he was, even he was pretty useless in that season where Leicester won the Premier League. So it's been ingrained in us now for far too long. And I think no matter who the manager is, no matter who we buy, who we sell, no matter who the owner was, be it Abramovich or Bowley, how on earth do Chelsea fix this issue? And in a way, we're the victims of our own success. Because if Chelsea aren't winning trophies, which has become significantly harder to do, then we seem to struggle. And because the expectation and the goal is to lift silverware, the moment it becomes untenable and unattainable, the players give up the fight. And I think we've got to accept, and this is the real purpose behind this video today, Chelsea fans and Chelsea Football Club need to accept that it was our world in the mid to late 2000s and then the 2010s. From this decade, from 2020 onwards, right? After Leicester won the Premier League, that was kind of the changing of the guard season. Leicester had it, and it could have been anyone that year. Since then, we have seen how to run a modern day football club. Manchester City. Did you watch? Probably not, because you're probably watching Chelsea's abysmal show against Brentford, but City against Arsenal, I had it on the TV while I was watching Chelsea on my laptop. City are absolutely sensational. And it's not just Guardiola, it's everything. The recruitment there, when they bought Akanji, I'm thinking, is Akanji actually going to improve this Man City team? Was that the first choice? Is that who they really wanted? Akanji's a phenomenal footballer. You've got Ilkay Gundogan going out of contract, but he comes on and makes the world of difference. Manchester City are the club now. Chelsea were the club. Man City are now what we were. And they will continue to be. Liverpool, if they are to sign 2 or 3 central midfielders, they will remain at the forefront. Mikel Arteta will only improve, even if this was his chance for Arsenal. And you can argue they bottled the league. I don't think they've bottled it. I think Man City are just that good. So, us Chelsea fans now, we need to accept that challenging for trophies, for the Premier League in particular, we are so far away from this because of these ingrained DNA habits that have become Chelsea. And I think the biggest thing that when I talk about these DNAs, these philosophies, it comes from the mental attitude of still thinking that we shouldn't bother unless we can lift the trophy. That is not how things work in the Premier League. That is not how Brighton and Hove Albion have become challengers. That is not how Newcastle United, look at Newcastle signings. Do you think Newcastle have bought significantly better players than Chelsea have? Possibly not, but they've been smart and understand their place. They have improved in areas all over the field, but not by trying and going to flex Mbappe-esque kind of fees for players like Chelsea have done. We have gone and flexed thinking that we are still a powerhouse when quite frankly we're not. And as a result of that, the expectations remain sky high, but over and over again we see repetitive mediocrity at best. After what I saw against Brentford, a team who are decent, Brentford are a good team, they didn't even have to play at 70% of their best to beat us. Now I've seen that, now I've seen Frank Lampard picking a team like that, I've got no more optimism left. I said that weeks ago, but it's absolutely time here to just stop making all of these wrong decisions. The reason I got excited about Lampard is only because I didn't think it could get worse than Potter. It's got worse than Graham Potter. So now, Todd Bowley, I retract everything I've said about keep Pochettino or the new manager away from this currently toxic, unconfident dressing room. And I say toxic because failure seems to breed failure for Chelsea. And this has been, like I've said, it's been in the club's DNA now for at least a decade, maybe more. And with this crop of players, when there's so many new players, there is so little core of players who really, really love Chelsea and want to be here and know what being Chelsea is all about. Add into that 4 different managers in the dugout this season, and now I'm asking for a 5th. It's just a mess. It's chaos. It's a catastrophe. And we need the season to end, but the new manager needs to come in now. Because expecting Frank Lampard, who puts out that starting lineup, look at this starting lineup, I'll put it here for you lot. Frank Lampard is the man who did this. He was the one who was supposed to come in and try and salvage some heart, fight and desire. If he's not done that, he's actually classified as useless. So don't allow Frank Lampard to be the guy to give the handover to Pochettino. I know that yesterday I said something different, but after that Brentford performance, like, where do we get points from next? We've got to play Arsenal away, Man City away, Newcastle away, Man United at home, and Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest, who are actually in a dogfight and are fighting. Where can Chelsea get anything more than maybe 2 draws at best out of those fixtures? We can't score a goal. We've got 1 goal in 5 matches under Lampard. So now I'm a firm believer. Let's just get the manager in, and I will zip my mouth between now and the end of the season. If Pochettino takes over, or whoever it's going to be takes over now, I won't say a word in angst against the manager between now and the end of the season, because whoever comes in, it's not their fault. At this point, it's not their fault. To expect any manager in world football, Guardiola, give him a week or 2 weeks, gets a draw at best with this Chelsea team. That is how alarmingly poor we've become. So get the manager in now, allow him to assess for himself what the situation is. From the outside, we've all got our thoughts. I spend multiple hours a day focusing on Chelsea, be it reading articles, looking at statistics, watching videos, analysing everything, right? So for me, it's obvious. But at the same time, what is obvious is also impossible, which is, can we just do a draft, get rid of all the players and start from scratch? That's not possible. We've got to work with what we have. And I think the best way, and again, my opinion is flip-flopping, it's changing, but that's football. Stop defining people's opinions online by one thing they say one week and expecting it not to change. That's how this sport works. Pep Guardiola is the best thing since sliced bread now that Arsenal were beaten 4-1. But if he loses the next 6, Pep Guardiola's the worst. That is just how it works, okay? But yeah, Chelsea, what on earth is going on? I just want to see some heart. I want to see some fight. And I don't remember the last time I saw any of that. That's the hardest part for me to accept. If we're going to get beat, let's lose 6-5. 5-4, 4-3, let's go for it. We don't know what we're doing in the final third. My next video is going to be the attackers rebuild video. And I think I've nailed it, to be honest. I recorded it before the Brentford game. And I'm so convinced that when... I said it after 8 minutes, I think. I put on Twitter that we'd lost today. Even at 0-0. You look at Gallagher running around, you see Sterling dropping deeper. When he's the most advanced player, he's the only actual forward on the pitch. You got Mudryk, Madueke, Aubameyang, all on the bench. At this point, my conspiracy theory of, is this Lampard simply trying to prove that they didn't get it that wrong with Potter's appointment? Because Potter wasn't that bad. Lunacy, Benson. Absolute lunacy. But am I really that much of a lunatic for believing that that could be possible when game after game after game we just see Chelsea entering the abyss? But yeah, I wanted to do this video because I needed to get the white sand between my feet for some kind of therapy, and I really just want the best for this club. And day by day, game by game, week by week, all of the hope that I have just seeps out of me, and it's draining me. But at the same time, I'll always support them, so we've got to hope for the best. Let's see where we go from here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, but I do think it's time to just admit Lampard's appointment, dreadful idea. I got it wrong, Bowley got it wrong, everyone got it wrong. Just get the new manager in now. Let's have no expectations for any results between now and the end of the season. Let the manager assess the weight of the job that he needs to do in the summer. Come on, you Blues.